Hello and welcome to race number 11 in the EFRL Next Gen Cup Series. We got me and Matt in the booth. Currently have practice going on. Ooh, that's a sharp scheme. Someone in the 75. We'll take a look and see who that is. Okay, so got number 68. Custom number supposed to be 75. This will make it fun, and there's no way I'm gonna be able to find him. That'll be fun. Thornton spun last lap also. Says you have practice for another 11 minutes. That'll bring us exactly to 9:30, and then qualifying should start. I don't know if it's slightly longer than before, because I thought qualifying plus practice brought us to 9:30 start time for the race, but anyways, that'll bring us to like 9:35 would actually start. currently fastest in practice. You've seen him on track is 73, Riley Marabello, running that part-time schedule. And second, Dean Demmer in the number 41, Dr. Squash Camaro. Kind of trying to take advantage, trying to learn some you can. That's why we saw Dean get into the wall. Highly unlikely you'd see that actually during the we'd probably see that during the race though. Cars getting tight, going up into each other, and then my camera isn't going to choose to cut out the way that it has. I currently have it going on most exciting, and apparently it shows that 33 is more exciting than the 7 is. Probably should have it on crashes. Oh, come on, Will. Save it, save it. Oh, what? The 5's more exciting than the 48? Okay. I think this is Mahomes' race in this league. He's done a few others, so I raced them before. Decent driver. Alright, now that's exciting. Alright, we do have 3 minutes left in practice. Aaron did that on purpose. And collected a 33 in that as well. Riley Marabello still on top. Dean Demmer in second, but he's second by 7 thousandths of a second. That's almost nothing. Behind him in third, we got the number 2, currently on your screen. He was 46 hundredths, also less than a tenth off a pole. And before we actually get to a tenth off a pole, we're all the way down to Drew Trader. Drew Trader is 0.105 seconds off a pole. Everybody is really close. Blue Cloud 700 or 77 hundredths. Even Zachary Thorne in 8th. Also the above a 10th mark, he's 0.106. Almost nothing, and in most leagues, that time off a pole usually get you at least in the top 5, but Thornton's sitting in 8th at the moment. Currently last to put a lap is the 26 of Brian Norsworthy, and he is 6 tenths off. Once again, not terrible. We don't have anybody drastically high. People trying that really high lane, see how much speed they can get. And the 40, back end steps out. It's that front wall, gonna skid to stop holding the brake like a good driver. There's the 4, hello. Alright, we're under a minute now, so I would expect people to be kind of goofing around any minute. That's typically what happens, you know, with your final like 10 seconds, so people just let go of the steering wheel, as Denny Hamlin would say, and the car do what it wants. So far, oh, the 46, ooh, that's a big hit. And yep, now's when people usually start wrecking, and qualifying's gonna happen in 9 seconds. Like that. 3, 2, 1, 0. You're going to be getting our qualifying stints. This is going to go on for 5 minutes. Steel popped up first. I'm also going to put the ticker. I can have the ticker bounce around for qualifying. Oh no, I don't want it bouncing around like that. So Steel exiting 4. He's going to be starting his green flag lap. His lap, he's third out people qualify. Thornton was first. That was replaced by Dean Demmer. Oh, Clow actually towards the back. That's interesting. Brian Norsworthy currently in the 10th position. Aaron Brown, Malachi Drake are on track. Well, Aaron Brown just coming out of the pits. We'll see where Malachi Drake is at. Okay, just sitting there. I see William Maribel out on track. I think he has a chance to take over Dean Demmer in that Spino Racing Camaro. Down the backstretch, Riley isn't sticking up to the wall. Actually, this might be his fast lap. That's why he's sticking up that high on the turn. Or we'll see if it's a legit chance of getting pulled. But as he crosses the line, yep, 11th. We'll see if he can improve this time. Still sticking up at the wall. I guess he's trying to do that. Get the speed. Because at Homestead, you know, early in the run, people want to be down low. End of the run, you do want to be high, but you also got to be careful of being tight. High in 1 and 2, low in 3 and 4. Letting that car drift all the way up to the wall. And that is going to put his Camaro. That's how people love to end their practice runs. That's what was Camaro 4th. Not surpassing Dean Demmer at all. Qualifying it up. We'll now wait for some people to pop on. Now we'll go through our lineup. Alright, we have most of our people here. That came out very poor. Starting on pole. Between number 41 and Dean Demmer on his outside. The 35 was Zachary Thornton. Starting in third place position, our friend Brian Lorenzo, haven't seen him at all today. He is the 77 back there, and then we have the 73. Fourth, that is going to be Riley Marabello. In the fifth place position, we have the 07, Malachi Drake. To his outside, we have the 48 of Will Cloud. Behind Will, my ticker ain't ticking. Especially because we have people, going down on the apron too. And I guess I'm just gonna get to 6. Okay, looks like behind Will is the 40, and then the 9. And I am going to go up to our pole sitter because we're going to be going green very shortly. Waiting for that pace car to go down the safety of pit road.
Green flag, green flag.
Alright, green flag is out. And we are away here at Homestead. Gonna be 100 laps here, 60% fuel, 3 sets of tires, and no fast repairs. Off into turn 1, side by side, Dean Demmer and Zachary Thornton leaning on each other. And on exit, I do have the race volume up, a little more than normal, so hopefully it's not overpowering. If it is, just let me know and I'll silence it. But Dean is going to be escaping away from Thornton. Thornton right now battling our third place driver, trying to battle for second, Riley Marabello. Brian Lorenzo slotting his Camaro. Actually, no, it's not Camaro. What are you this week? Brian is in a Camry. JBL. Will Cloud on his tail. Looks like everybody is single filed out from the restart. Don't know if that's what we're going to see here tonight. A lot of single file racing. But as Brady calls it, the last true 1.5 mile track. Which he does have a point. The surface is very old. Tires are going to be very worn. And it is going to be, your traditional half-mile racing. The people spread out, you know, you're gonna need some good tire strategy. And Michigan was a blast. Probably not gonna be so here. So it's gonna probably require a lot of commentary to keep it upbeat, I guess. But gonna be looking down back in the field because we have some people close to each other. Like Aaron Brown right now is under attack by the 68 of Schumacher. Schumacher, also a part-time driver, he races whenever Riley races, and Sam Brochu, we've seen a few times. Sometimes he'll hop in and races. In the back there, do you see some more cars side by side? We'll take a look. Saw 33 of Jeremy Lapinus. And in front of him, the 46 just got around the 17. Of Hayes Booth. That number doesn't quite line up. But who is? Okay, that's weird. We actually do have a 2 on track. Right now he is battling side by side. Trying to get that bottom lane. Like he lost his first battle, but right now he is trying to get around. Oh, he did. But right now his next victim is the 68. Side by side, and Schumacher's trying to ride that outside wall. We have our first caution of the night. Oh, I see the 46 goes around. I just randomly clicked on him, but I'll take a look and see what happened. Alright, so in the turn, we're all oh, whoa! No contact until he got it loose. 100% on the 46, gonna cause our first caution of the night. We're gonna be looking down pit road. No, not yet. I actually beat it. Okay. These guys are signaling that they are going to go down pit road, I think. And they're also getting out of the way for Steele to get his lap back. This is going to put up to 25th. Oh. Oh, now it's telling. So Steele's on lead lap. Looks like James Coy and everybody down is going to be a lap or more down. Daniel J. Adam and Tyler Espinal did not start the race. Tyler is our race control, so that is why. So just one guy shows the field 28, but we got 26 people on track. Very big fields for tonight. First caution come out on lap number 10 with the 46. Lost the rear end and ended up collecting the 33 of Jeremy Lapinus. Guys are gonna... Oh, only on lap 9. Probably choose to stay out. Smart choice. Unless you're the 46. Who looks like already pitted, so that's why I didn't see any takers. You know, just a few people in the back who were involved in the caution. He is going to be starting, well, it should be last by getting the EOL. People taking fuel only. Caution laps are going on for forever. Thankfully, we do have no lights on the pace car, and we are going to be going green next time by. So the pain of the caution laps is going to end. Put them out with roughly a little less than 90 laps to go here at Homestead. And we'll try to do this again. No one has disconnected from the session. Well, from the wreck. 41's going to launch really early. 73 tried to go, but he's going to be swallowed up. Thornton looking to the inside for that second place, but Riley Mirabello able to close the door. Zachary Thornton a little bit more on entry. Was right behind the back bumper for the 73, but Mirabello able to get a better run off. We'll see if the 73 can have anything to fight for our leader, Dean, who has led every single lap so far. And back there, before they single file out, you see Will Cloud on the top side. I see the 17, slash whatever your number really is, on the bottom. Split in Aaron Brown in the middle. And Aaron's kind of going back. Will Cloud being aggressive, diving high, low, trying to chop his way through the field. But Will is up to 6. I think he fell back a little bit. Not entirely sure why. But he is trying to make up that ground. The 17, though, he's going to put his Mustang the outside of Will's Camry. Trying to use that high side, get that momentum. Right now we have a lot of people down low. And as the run goes, I'm expecting them to be a lot higher. Will trying to keep the car down. Had a little wiggle out of the back. Restricting that movement just makes the car want to be a little tight. He is going to lose that spot to Hayes Booth. Hayes Booth also going to take over Malachi Drake. He's pushing pretty good here in the beginning. We'll see how long that lasts with Hayes up in the top 5 position. Schumacher seems to be the only car that wants to get that high side rolling. And he's constantly in the high side trying to get that to work. You know, the high side does wear tires pretty good, but it's, yes, doing all right for him. But he is being very different from everybody around him. We'll see how his car fares off, if people's tires wear before his, or I thought it would be his tires would wear more on the top side, but he's not gaining a whole lot of positions. Even when he has the option to go low, by Malachi Drake still tries to go high side. That is going to be very difficult because he's starting to get more of a run out of the turns compared to everybody else. That point, okay, Malachi Drake chooses to go low. He's going to try and go high. Right now has his 68 side by side with a 7. Schumacher down the backstretch is going to clear Malachi Drake. But when we have a lot of people all on that top side, you are not going to have the freedom of people just leaving it open for you. As soon as you get to their outside, it is going to be a done deal. Just with that actual momentum you get. As far as I can see, everybody seems to be single file out. Someone back there's tapping the wall. And Dean is ahead right now by a third of a second. Over Marabello slightly pulling away. Actually, that times went back down to what it was, 0.333. Guys are going to start just logging laps, getting that counter down until where it really matters. And if we have a late race caution, well, it's going to be hectic, a lot more hectic than what we have seen. People just being single file out, and not a whole lot you can do. Pretty much the draft helps, but it's not dominant and does allow for more skilled people to be up front, unlike in the Michigan race that we had 2 days ago for the Gen 6 series. I got second and I'm not skilled and I whiffed it. Tried not to. But that was more of a plate racing feel, being at a half mile. This, you actually have to do more throttle control compared to the first couple of laps that you would at Michigan in the Gen 6. The way that they have those things slow down and too much downforce and aero. Marabello closed back in down the backstretch to Dean, but nothing he can really do with the extra speed, just chooses to stick behind. And Brian kind of, he's there but not really part of it, in 0.6 of a second back. Brian's actually falling back even more, and he's under attack by Hayes Booth. Hayes right now trying to use the inside, but at this point tires are going to be more of a thing to concern with. And Hayes, I have a feeling, as good as that paint scheme is, I don't think that paint scheme is going to really save his tires. And if you guys can hear the scraping back there, that appears to be 68. Also sparks flying. It looks like Schumacher's trying to use that bottom side, maybe because of tires, because if I was right, top side you choose up your tires, and as I say that, he's going back to the top side, so it might be kind of a strategy if he can do it. Top side 3-4, bottom side 1-2. But that was interesting. By going to the top, he lost the spot to Malachi Drake and Aaron Brown. Right now, sort of battling Malachi Drake, but he's not. Okay. Malachi Drake left the spot open. Schumacher had the position down the backstretch, and they're just, I guess, trying to be in the lanes they want to be in. Till now, where Malachi slides up in front of the 68. Looks like they have that solved. Marabello is right on top of Dean. Marabello to the inside, but Dean with momentum up top is going to maintain that spot, keeping Riley Marabello at bay for now. Lap number 7. Riley trying to get that high side, get the momentum. But down the back stretch, he's not super high, but it's just enough. Probably to not follow exactly in the tracks of Dean, because when you do that, the turmoil of the air, trying to think of the right word to describe that, off of the back splitter is all what they call dirty. Well, the car doesn't like dirty air, as everybody knows that term in racing. Causes the car essentially to be tight and not want to have that front downforce and the grip that you desire. So that's why we are seeing Riley Marabello trying to be in a different lane other than Dean. But he's got his nose barely to one side of the vehicle. And it seems to be helping it to allow it to turn a little bit. But he's been kind of kept at bay right now, just right on the back bumper of Dean. As I'm talking, Dean is able to kind of get back in the rhythm, being able to pull away from Riley a little bit until we see our green flag pit stops. And if I were to guess, people probably would split it into thirds, and being out of 100, 33 kind of being the third part. So within a couple of laps, we'll probably see people taking their green flag pit stops. Actually, you know what? It might be a little past that because of the caution. Might see people coming down closer to 40 because they were able to save a little bit, even though a lot of these guys stayed out. Riley with a run down the backstretch, gonna poke his Camaro down low. Dean using the top side to defend, but he's gonna get the run coming off the turn. Riley not able to complete the pass, gonna be side by side on exit. And Dean running right up next to the wall, wasn't able to escape using the momentum. As of now, Marabello has the spot, but Dean with the momentum, not gonna allow Riley to clear him. Is actually going to take over the top spot once again. These two guys swapping back and forth. And right now, Dean still out in front. And we'll see for how much longer, because Riley is able to have closer to being more successful attempts. Probably would be able to maintain the lead if he shut the door on him. Dino into the wall. That's going to hurt his momentum, though, on the outside. Riley going to try one more time. Not going to be able to get by. Dean's going to put his Camaro down to the white line. Drifting up a little bit, just showing how tight that car is. And Riley following in his tracks, as we discussed before. Having that nose slightly off of the 41. And he He's going to try once again. Doesn't look like he's going to be successful though, and 1 and 2 by being a whole lane and a half below Dean. We are past the third part of the race. And you'll see how far people want to stretch their fuel limits. We did see a lot of people taking fuel only at the first caution, which is a very smart move. Because throughout the season, races have been, you know, like this, having a caution early on. And then people use that to save their fuel and try and make it a one-stop race. So that could be a possibility here. People trying to stretch it as far as they absolutely can go. See if they can make it maybe a one-stop race to the end. But that would require you to... At this point, that would be difficult even if you did pit on lap 10. If we had the caution on lap 20, well, might be able to stretch that. That'll be difficult, but it wouldn't shock me if we have a few bold people back there. I know we have them in the field, especially being the 4 and 51. That's how the 51 guys win first and only win so far this season. Other than that, it's pretty much been Brian Lorenzo, who's sitting there in third, kind of minding his own business at the moment. 3.5 seconds off of these two leaders. And Dean also have been putting on a great race throughout the season, but lately he's been the bridesmaid to Brian multiple times. He's going to try and end that tonight, but we're not even halfway yet. There is plenty of more action to come, plenty of more strategy to unfold, and yeah, I do see a battle. Gonna move that to it as much as I like Dean and Riley. Gonna put it to Ollie in the 91. Haven't really spoke about him at all. And Nicholas Fuller back in the field. You're gonna have people making a lot more daring moves than those up front. So it wouldn't shock me if we have a lot more aggressive racing. That's typically how, you know, NASCAR and all of these series go. People middle of the pack to the back of the pack are absolutely ruthless. Ollie, another one of those people that usually races when Riley races, because it's a whole friend group having some fun here at Homestead, and I don't think there's going to be more than that group. There's been plenty of names that have been mentioned so far, like Luke Mahone. I think this is his first race. He's in the 05. We do have people pitting. Dobson. Dean and Riley. My ticker, they just went. Okay. They've stayed out. Alright, now Dean and Riley are coming down the pits in that second group of people. Following each other in, nose to tail, and we'll see the pit stops. If Riley can use this as an opportunity to overtake the 41. Semi-3 is definitely pushing the limits, entering the stall. The 41 slides in his box, no mistake yet so far. Jack goes up on the right side of both of these guys. Looks like it's going to be 4 tires for each. Riley is going to be going away first. And then Dean goes 2, and they are going to exit approximately the same. And actually, Dean able to extend that gap a little bit. I was expecting, based on the aggression of Riley, that they'd be a little closer. But Dean just had a much smoother stop. It did slide into a stall, though. I didn't see how much the 73 slid in. These guys are going to be battling for the lead, but we have plenty of people staying out so far. From Drew Trader, all the way down to Jake McCarty in 9th. Well, 8th. Looks like Jake pitted. But we're going to be taking a look at Drew. Drew's going to be pitting at some point. That 89 Camaro. The 89 definitely getting very tight. It wouldn't shock me if we're going to see him pitting very soon. Justin Carroll out there 2 seconds behind. You can see a lot of people passing Drew. These are people that all have taken tires, like Jeremy Lapinus in the 33 took tires, and he's going to be getting his lap back. So when Drew does pit, at this point you're dead set. You got to be trying to make this a one-stop race. Might help his position, but it's definitely not going to be fun. I mean, you were in first set in laps, but then again, your car is a painted drive. As we see him getting into the wall once again. Dustin Carroll, the other person that has stayed out. Everybody else is pitted by now. Dustin Carroll being 2.5 seconds off of the lead, and behind him is Dean Demmer and Riley, who are at it once again. Dean to the inside, Riley to the outside though. Dean is going to be able to clear the 73 slide up right in front. He's going to be going back down to the inside once again. Two guys getting very racy. Dean right now to the outside trying to defend. Riley trying to use the inside to clear him. And Riley is going to clear Dean for the first time tonight. Dean trying with a switchback though onto the inside. Dean's going to send it into the turn. Is Dean going to be able to take over the top spot? He is clear at the moment. But with Riley on exit with the momentum. Oh, that would have been close. He would have slid his nose right in there, but he might have gotten himself spun. Smart move from Dean. You still got over half of the race left. Gonna try that once again, but Riley side by side. Riley, I predict, is going to take that momentum and take over the lead. Not as fast as I thought, though. It's not clear the 41. At this point, these two guys have very different strategies going on. One's against the wall, one's down. Wrapping it on the bottom. But they're going to exit the turn side by side. Dean is going to have to settle for what would be second, but right now is fifth. Actually, Paul Irvin stayed out too. He's in third. That doesn't shock me. But those guys will pit at some point. That's why the 51 has a different scheme. Or I didn't recognize him. All is going to be losing a lot of spots. Stayed out, but now he got passed normally. We have the number 2 / whatever it's supposed to be down pit road. And Paul Urban is down as well, starting down on the 25. And the 78 has pitted as well. I meant to say 89. We are over the halfway point. In approximately 48 laps, you're allowed to sleep, but until then, you have to stay awake. Watch what's going on. Riley Marabella right now going to be lapping at Cochran in the number 4. I would have thought the 4 would have stayed out just as long as the 51 did. Looks like he has a different strategy tonight. And how many laps down is Cochran? Oh, that would be his first lap down. Jake McCarty would be the next guy, so if a caution were to come out, Cochran would get put on the lead lap. Jake McCarty in the 9 right now is the guy right in front of them. So these two guys, the 4 and the 9, would be battling out for the lucky dog position. And he's going to stay high and out of the way. Dean right now on the back bumper, the 73. As I was saying that, he's falling back a little bit more. So the 73 got a much better turn off. And Dean is diving it in a little more than the 73, and that time he does have a better run out of the turn than Riley. And he's trying to get that lead once again. We saw how hard it was for Riley to take over the lead from Dean. But right now that Riley has it, Riley's not giving it up. But they're side by side for the lead once again. These two guys were not here. My life would be really boring. Side by side, they're sliding up. Oh, Dean backs out of it, or he would have taken out Riley. Lost back in line. It looks like the tires are starting maybe to heat up. Hopefully Dean hasn't been pushing it too much because you still have a lot of a way to go. A lot of these people pitted around 40. If you can take probably a little more than 30 laps. So I'm trying to count for the caution, trying to save them a little time. So I would assume we'd be pitting around 70 to lap 80. At that point, you can make it to the end. If you want to pit early in lap 70, have a 30 stint to the end, or a little later, have a little more fresher tires. Be a preference, so some strategy to the end will go into play, kind of when you want to get your fresh set, when you want to get that extra speed. Dean tried once again to pass the 73, but that top side this late in the run is very, very tough. But Riley got into the wall, and Dean is going to use that opportunity to take over the spot, but he didn't slide up in front of Riley, leaving the door open for Riley. I know in the car it is very hard to tell if you are actually clear of the person or not, and you don't want to wreck yourself. Like the 41 just slid up a little bit. They were perfectly fine. Riley Barlow moved out of the way, probably in reaction to it. Just saw the 41 twitch. Like a second later, the 73 reacted to it. We'll see what tricks Dean has up his sleeve so he doesn't lose, or so he's not the bridesmaid anymore, even though Brian Lorenzo Oh, he's actually fallen to fourth. Looks like Thornton's taken over the third spot. And Thornton 3.5 seconds back. We're gonna take a look at that Dunkin' Donuts car. Currently getting through some lap traffic of the 91 and the 9. And the 9 is currently our lucky dog. Let's see. No, it looks like Cochran managed to pass McCarty, so Cochran is the lucky dog. Cochran, and then there's McCarty. Oh, right now Dean's trying to use the outside for the run. Doesn't look like it worked. Ended up losing some time. Because while I was looking at Thornton and the Lucky Dog battle, they were side by side, according to the gap. And it looks like Dean tried using the top side, see if that would help a little bit. If he can manage to get his nose on exit on the quarter panel Riley Marabelle, he will be in good shape. Right now he's trying to use that inside lane to pass. That's the only thing that Riley is leaving available. And if you exit side by side, Riley's just going to continue his momentum down the front stretch. So it'll be very interesting at the end if these guys do finish 1 and 2. Kind of see how it was trying to pass each other, because they're getting runs, but they just cannot complete the runs. And even though Riley Marabello was sometimes getting to the wall, same thing we saw with Dean, they'd scrape the wall. In theory, that would just lose you a lot of speed. But I haven't lost a whole lot. On that top side, you have to take a longer duration around the track, but you get a lot of speed. As you saw that last turn, Dean entered and initially lost a lot to Riley, but on exit was able to gain that up. And then Riley wanted the top side, Dean wanted it also. And I don't know if Dean had to check up a little bit so he didn't go into the back of Riley. But he's going to try and regroup, try and do this once again. We got laps winding down right here at Homestead. What attempt Dean tries to do next, because Riley wants that top side to defend. Being the slate in the run, people drift to the top side, but Dean cannot be content in second if he wants to take over that top position. And I'm not sure what tricks up Dean's sleeve he has, because that past turn he just followed Riley, and you can see the back end start to twitch a little bit. The steering kind of going away too. Just shows how tight his car is. Right now he's into the wall. Didn't cost him a lot of time though. But with that car twitching, it depends when it twitches to kind of signal if your car is tight or loose. Like in NASCAR, we've seen announcers, not to do any names, but we've seen some announcers kind of mess it up. Where if the back end steps on entry, it's a good signal that your car is loose. Getting on the brakes, the car is just not stable. But on exit, if the back end twitches, typically you're tight. Because this was explained to me in go-kart terms. The front end of your vehicle is plowing. Eventually the front will grab, and this happens very much quicker than what I'm explaining it. But the front will grab, kind of jerk the car sideways a little bit, give you a false indication about being loose when you're really tight. So, which could fool you into moving your car into the complete opposite direction, sending you back into trying to get your car to actually handle right. You think you're trying to fight a loose condition, so you tighten the living daylights out of it, and you're like This ain't working. Let's tighten it some more. You're making yourself slow. And the gap between these two has increased a little bit to 0.3. Probably starting to pull away. Final pit stop will be absolutely crucial. Last time Dean was faster, so if Dean can use that to his advantage. And he's going to be staying out. Riley Marabella coming to pits this time. Probably trying to break it and even, leaving a 30 lap stint to the end. And we'll see how Dean will respond. If he comes down next lap, didn't know the 73 was pitting. Or if he intended on staying out to use some fresh tires towards the end of the race. Riley wanted those fresh tires in the beginning. Probably hoping that the fall off isn't too great and he can use that to his advantage. Versus Dean is going to be relying on fresh tires if he chooses to stay out. And at this point, if he chooses to stay out, well, he might as well stay out more laps too. Now, if he does pit, probably try and allow Riley to not undercut him too bad. I'm expecting Riley to take over the lead though. And Dean just needs one smooth pit stop. Into the box good. No sliding for him. Those right sides are going up. Jackman, he's kind of invisible at the moment. Gonna run over to the left, jack that up, put some full fuel in that 41, and away he's gonna go. And as he enters the track, Riley down the backstretch, flying by Dean. Oh, front stretch, now to the backstretch, flying by Dean. So he's entering 3, and Dean is just starting the backstretch. Dean's going to need a caution if he wants to win this race. Unfortunately, it looks like the undercut is very significant. And there's 2 cars in between Riley and himself. Brian Lorenzo being one of them. Cochran definitely stayed out. He's probably going to get lapped once again, but he got his lap back because these 2 leaders pitted. Brian right now would be the next victim for Dean, trying to make his way back through the field. Dean seems to have a very good start, but can't close out the race, and the 4 is all wiggly on the top side. Just unfortunate. Dean wants to be able to bring the fight to Brian, but unfortunately, you need to have a perfect race, and pitting 1 lap later is creating a. Trying to look at the numbers to be exact. Riley Marabello is 7.8 seconds off the lead, and Dean. Oh no. Riley Marabello is 25.2 seconds off of the lead. Sorry. And Dean is 29.1. So right now they have about 4 seconds off of each other. The gap before they went in the pit stall was half a second. So ultimately he lost 3.5 seconds because he pitted 1 lap later than Riley. Also, Riley could have had a much faster pit stop too, but most of that is due to the 1 lap fresher tires. And at the grand scheme of things, when tires fall off, he's not going to be able to use that 1 lap to his advantage. I think Brian Short pitted too, because he is able to fight. And we have 4 people staying out on old tires, trying to extend it either till they get a caution, which would only trap up to 10th a lap down. So fast. Or they're trying. I don't think they can make it to the end. They might try though. Also, if they were to have the caution come out at some point, the people who took fresh tires will probably need to take fresh tires once again because the fall off will be so significant. Like if a caution were to come out probably now or 3 laps from now, or people would come down and take their final set versus Hayes, Schumacher, Schrader, Fuller, and Carroll would take their second set just so everybody will be on the same page. Because if you stay out on old tires, you're going to be slow as molasses. I'm going to move it up to Hayes because he is our rightful leader at the moment. But he is under pressure from Schumacher, 0.2 seconds back. Schumacher pitting. Hayes still staying out. At this point, if you want a fantastic finish, you're going to have to take a risk, which is very unlikely, being the 79 out of 100. We're going to be coming to 80 laps, so 20 laps to go. And Hayes coming down this time by, not able to get that yellow. Drew Trader in second is going to be staying out. He stayed out the longest last time. Like he's going to be doing it again. It's a 51. Paul Urban has got to have stayed out. But Paul not having a fantastic day, so you don't see him up front. Or he might have pitted. Everybody else I know that's definitely pitted is ahead of him, so Paul might have pitted. And if he did, 10th is a good run for him, but if he stayed out to get 10th, well, Porsche has to put you to be like a 20th place car. He is holding his ground though, compared to the 2/whatever you are. Oh, I just realized I don't think the 20th race. That is odd. I don't know if this series allows drops. I thought they did because I know the other ones do. But what is up with Brady? Not in his own race. Something happened to Dean. Yeah, my ticker happened to Dean. I thought he was in 20th. But he did somehow manage to get by Brian. It looks like he might be bridesmaid once again. Not to Brian though, but Riley, who isn't running her point. Trader, who knows when he's gonna pit. I think he came down last around lap, I'm trying to remember, 50, so shouldn't be able to make it to the end. Probably would come down, gotta be within a couple of laps as the fuel window is gonna be done. I'm curious to know about what exactly their strategy is, but we're probably not going to see them for an interview. If I were to guess, we'd be seeing Riley. Did my ticker just completely omit Dean again? It did. So it's probably going to be Riley, Dean, and if I were to guess, Brian. This Will Cloud is about 10 seconds behind Brian. Bill's hoping to probably light a spark coming into playoffs. See if he can get a playoff run going. Being so fast in all the other series, even the truck series, which is unrestricted, has her I rating cap, and he can't do Gen 6 because of I rating. Trader coming down the pits right now. Actually exiting the pits. And he is going to find his Camaro. Currently shows the first car 1 lap down, but you'll see if Travis. Yep, Travis has managed to get around him, so he will be battling the 16. For that lucky dog position, if a caution does come. These guys are very close to each other. And Drew with the fresher tires can definitely track down Travis. So Travis is going to want that caution to come soon. And also before they lap Steele. So there's Steele. And where? Oh. There's a semi-3 about ready to lap Steele, which may spoil the entire party of those two battling for Lucky Dog. So time is definitely running out. Probably wrapping around the bottom, see, get around the lap cars. Still gonna be the first car 1 lap down. For Cochran is the first car 2 laps down. Up next on the takeout list would be the 05. Mahone. We'll see how close he is. Oh, he's right within attacking distance also. And then Paul Irvin isn't too far off. There are 10 laps to go here at Homestead. Right now it's going to be smooth sailing for Riley after pulling off the pit strategy. Currently putting his Camaro. I've been seeing Camaros a lot today. But it feels like in other times I'm seeing Camry and Mustang and all of that. Not a lot of Camaros, but Riley, who wanted to join us for tonight, exactly 5 seconds right now ahead of Dean. Show you what that looks like, because I always do, and you always have to watch it more. You don't have to, but it's nice. That's what 5 seconds looks like. They're not even the same camera. Looking, seeing if anything is going on during the field. We had 1 caution so far. A simple, harmless, I guess, south spin, but he probably lost the back end. But it was weird. It was down the backstretch, and that was the 46? 46 of Patrick Coluccio. He has 50 laps down at the moment, probably pancake the wall or something, ending his race while we were on green flag conditions. Aaron Brown, very similar boat, 22 laps down, not in the race according to the ticker. Brett Murrow in the 40, 11 laps down. And after that, we get to people who are probably naturally laps down. See if there's any damage to the 40. But they've definitely been getting into the wall quite significantly. Oh, the Ford put himself back to 1 lap down. Oh, 51! Doesn't hit the inside pit wall, but got very close for him. Probably, that's interesting. Taking his last set of tires already with 4 laps to go? Well, 5 laps to go? Wasn't expecting that. For this point, is he taking fuel only? Do not see the sides going up. Yep, probably taking fuel only. Might have stayed out as long as he could. Saw him around 10th. He's gonna put his car down to. Riley has a huge pack ahead of him. E98 trying not to go more laps down. Or 89, my bad. Actually shows Drew Trader passed the leader and got on the lead lap himself, which is very impressive, but he does have that significant tire advantage. Still being on tires that he can push on versus other people cannot. Luke Mahone would be the next victim. Going down a lap. And Steele being the lucky dog, just trailing right now behind the 73. Be doing 2 laps to go here at Homestead. Dean has closed the gap a little bit to Riley, but it only went down by 0.3 of a second. Probably because of all the lap traffic. And Steele probably has a better advantage. He's trying to get his lap back because if Precaution were to come out anytime between now and the start finish line, he'd be able to continue going and be on the lead lap, as now he'd get the lucky dog, and that came to an end. White flag here at Homestead. All Riley has to do is get around a couple more corners. He's being on the high side. Doesn't look like he's trying to battle these lap guys too hard, which is very smart for your official races. Here doesn't matter too much because you can trust people. But yeah, he's racing the 5. These people are more trustworthy than the official. 3, 3, and 4. Riley Marabello is going to win it on his part-time schedule here at Homestead. There's Larson Land Camaro for Spino Design. We're going to hear about those sponsors plenty. And joining him will be Dean Demmer. And what in the world? Happened back there? Nothing. Yep, he's going to be joined by Dean Demmer and Brian Lorenzo. So Dean did manage to beat Brian, but still the bridesmaid. But Riley will not be a threat for the playoffs. These guys are going to be going to get their picture. With Dean in the middle once again. Brian's going to have to settle for 3rd. And we are going to see the 73. What the heck is a 33 doing? Burning it down for 8, actually top 10 is good for him. Good picture we have going on, very staggered. We are going to be back shortly. I'll get a good camera angle, because we like our camera angles. This will also allow people to go into the waiting room so I don't have to harass anyone, because that is not good. And that
The green
Going up. I see Brian in there. I see Dean in there. And I'm going to have to try and find my right tab. You get Brian. Come in. Or, name. Riley. Don't I see Riley? Okay, there's Riley. We'll be starting off with Brian. Hey, Brian, Matt, and Booth, you copy?
Yeah, man, loud and clear.
Alright, so how was it? Just seeing, the numbers, and it looked like you're riding with yourself most of the race.
Yeah, it was a pretty chill race. Uh, Great to see us go green flag, get a good green flag run after that early caution. But yeah, it was pretty boring for me. I meant, we were pretty much just racing on our own. I think we were racing Zach and Will for third for most of the race, but eventually it just kind of filtered out, especially after the pit stop. We kind of got spread out, as I went on a pretty early pit stop to try to get the lead, but it did not work.
Yeah, I did see you at one point manage to be ahead of Dean, but Dean did kind of get you back to that second place.
Yeah, I kind of just let him go at that point. He was racing for the win. I was racing for third place, so didn't want to stop him, especially because we've had so much respect racing each other, and there's just times where you just got to know your battles.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know, especially with playoffs coming up in um 2 weeks of normal racing, and then playoffs will start. So you don't want your enemies to be fast people
Yep,
or people that
definitely.
will get in your way.
Yep.
But yeah, overall, my perspective very chill too. Add a little bit of excitement. But before we let you go though, any sponsors you want to thank for tonight? I see another one on the hood. If you are sponsored by JBL, well, congrats, you're making the big bucks.
I wish. Yeah, I wish. But no. Thank you to Lorenzo Designs for making this paint today. Got a new server up. If anybody wants to join that for my personal brand, any racing that I do, and YouTube, and obviously painting that I do. Want to thank Fort Cloak Media for being the rear end sponsor of the car. They've been sponsored. We've been sponsored by them all season long. Still working on a primary paint for them, so we'll see when that gets put together. Thank you to Pierce Graphics as well for being on the car all season long. Uh, Definitely looking to build this race, keep the momentum up, as this is another top 3 finish for us. And thank you to Adra Esports for giving us an opportunity to even race tonight.
Yep, yeah. Top three still gives you good points. By no means it's a bad race. Just know from your standards, usually battling Dean there, but can't be first
Yeah,
all the
this
time,
track.
but still good.
Yeah, this track was definitely tough to tame tonight. It was weird. Like usually, like I'm really good at tracks where you really did need to save the tires. I felt like the opposite with this track. It felt like for you to save your tires, you actually had to push the car, and like I did not get that till like halfway up until halfway point in the race.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, did see her making up kind of some ground, slow and steady through the race. Uh, if we were to have any yellows, do you think it would be any different? Your
Yeah, I
position?
think we would have got an insane restart, and I think our car was really good at that point. I really got the short run car down, so I think we really would have had a shot at it if we had a caution there at the end.
Gotcha. And also, you have to message me a link so I can. But thank you
Yes,
for your
sir.
time and have a good rest of your night.
All right, man. Thank you for the show. See you.
All right. That was Brian Lorenzo, finishing third place in 77 Camry. Bring up D next.
Maybe
Hey,
maybe tires mattered that much. Well, hi.
well, at least he didn't say anything bad. I assume he copied.
Yeah, how's it going, Matt?
Yep. Um, so I guess we could start off with tires. How was it? Tire saving. We saw the fall off a little bit, but wasn't. I don't know. Didn't seem to be night and day, but there definitely was a fall off.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just we ran a good race. Riley was really fast. We were battling it out for a long time there, and then uh, we were still driving away from the field, which is interesting because I thought once we got side by side, Brian and Will and the rest of those guys would be right on top of us, but that wasn't the case. And no, we raced really clean there, and that final pit stop just didn't work out for me. I guess the racing god said no.
What happened on that final pit stop? Because I saw it put you 5 seconds back, which seemed to be a lot for Riley just being
Literally,
on fresher tires. It wasn't just those fresher tires.
literally, I had like almost a perfect pit stop, so I don't know how he makes up 4 seconds in one lap difference, but
Okay. Uh,
I guess it is what it is. I don't know what to say other than wow. I was not expecting to come off pit road and him going into one. That's for sure. I thought we would, meet each other off too, like because we were like so close coming in. So I don't.
yeah, you guys were half a second going in and 5 seconds coming out.
Yeah, I don't understand that one, but
Yeah,
I feel like the iRacing Chase Elliott right now. I just
second
I
again.
second again. I finished the last 2 weeks in trucks and cup. I finished second, so it's it's getting old.
It could be third.
It could be if I finished third today, wouldn't even be complaining about finish second. But man, it's I don't know what to do. I I feel like I'm driving really good races. It just slips away in the last quarter of the race. The last I don't know 4 weeks.
Yeah, I know second place, but you beat Brian this time though.
Brian
There
let
was
me go. Brian let me go. He knew I was faster and he said go get him. So I appreciate him for that. That's for sure. But
yeah,
I had
he did say you gotta choose your battles, then definitely didn't
yeah
want that battle.
yeah I make up any time anyway, so he probably could have fought me for third, but yeah. I mean, if good race, good points day. We beat Brian, so that's a positive. And I just want to thank my sponsors really quick. Dr. Squatch is on the car this week. Are you worried about, what you're washing your balls with, Matt? Because I tell you what you're washing with your balls with right now is shit, okay? And you need Dr. Squatch, okay? These organic ingredients and it will make your skin nice and smooth. So go to drsquatch.com and order yourself some bar soap today.
Do you use their bar soap?
I do. It is fantastic. So they have a no grit soap, a medium grit soap, and a high grit soap. So I like the high grit because I get dirty and greasy at work, and I come home and that scrubs it right out of you. So and the medium grit is like when you're not as dirty. I guess I don't know. I don't know what the grits do, but all I know is uh, the high grit and the medium grit I like the most. It just it cleans you better, I think. But yeah, they have different scents, and like I said, they're all organic and they smell really good. Your whole house will smell like whatever flavor or scent you washed with.
Yeah, well, at least they do have, and
I hope
they
I
ship
hope
that
you're.
stuff to your door, right?
I think they do. I get mine at my local Walmart. So you just
Oh,
gotta find it at your local Walmart and pick it up there. They usually sell 2 3 different scents at a time, but I think you can get more different ones online. So yeah, go check them out. I found this paint scheme and it is a wicked paint scheme, and I was so happy when I found it. So uh, not a paid promotion.
gotta add that in there.
Yeah.
So is that your only one you want to thank for tonight?
Oh, there's a lot of people I want to thank, but especially you, Matt. You're great. Okay, just so you know, you're fantastic. The league is fantastic, even though I finished second and I'm complaining. I'm really happy to be here. A lot of good racing. So, hey, we went green flag all the way.
One caution.
One caution. Oh, one caution. I forgot there was one caution. One caution.
It's
All
still
right.
very impressive though, and you and Riley did put on one heck of a show.
Yeah, I
Definitely
hope
helped the
y'all.
entertainment value. Because without you guys, it would be difficult.
Yep. So you better let me go before I lose my mind. But thanks everyone, and I'm gonna go take a shower because I'm dirty and sweaty,
Some
and I'm
Dr.
gonna go.
Squash soap.
That's right. I'm gonna go use my Doctor Squatch.
All right, well, go enjoy that.
All
Go
right,
get
Matt.
go get all the girls with all that soap. So
Oh yeah, I have so many women just pounded down my door, Matt. I can't explain to you
because soap.
because of the soap. All right. I'll. I don't know if I'll talk to you next week or not. I probably wreck next week, but
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, Richmond,
Where
that'll be fun.
Richmond? Oh yeah. Let's go.
All right, that'll be a good one. Yeah, we'll see you
All right.
here. So
All right, Matt. See you, man.
see ya. All right, that was Dean. Gonna bring up Riley. He's been alone in the interview waiting room. Hey, Riley, Matt in the booth. You copy?
Yes, sir, Matt. It's good to be back here. Good to see you again. That's awesome. I got you though.
Yep, can tell you're definitely excited. I don't know if you're rehearsing that as you're in the waiting room by yourself. When I brought Dean in here, he was saying something about tires.
We'll see.
Yep. So I guess that'll. I said that'll lead me in the first point, and I guess I kind of artificially am making that lead into my first point into this as well. But yeah, how was tires tonight? Battling Dean, and ultimately you pulled 5 seconds away because of tires.
Well, to start, I just want to say, Dean, I don't know if you're watching this, but fantastic battle tonight. I hope I can have more battles like that on iRacing in the future. But yeah, tires were definitely important, I would say. While we were battling up front, we were definitely burning our stuff off. I think after the first set of green flag pit stops, like I burned up my tires trying to get by Dean because it is just so dangum hard to pass at this track because the top side just rolls if you get it right. So even on worn tires, it does. So I burned him up, got by him, but was still able to roll the high side and keep in front of him. And then we pitted, gained a lot of time, and just kept it real easy through the corners and just pulled.
Gotcha. So yeah, definitely, help contribute that a little bit. Were you planning to probably yes, short pit there at the end to see if you could jump ahead of Dean because you guys were, side by side and nose to tail throughout most of the entire race till that very last stint.
Yeah, absolutely. I was planning on doing that because if I had waited any longer, the people who had pitted or short pitted and got tires, they would be much faster than I was, and that would cause me to lose time. Therefore, I'd lose the lead and the race. So I figured, why not just short pit, get a final fuel run, like an exact fuel run, maybe 4 laps, give or take. That way, I could stay ahead of everyone and pass whomever stayed out late and went the full distance on the tank of gas we had prior.
Gotcha. So definitely a lot of thought that went into that. A lot of great racing from you. Between you and Dean, you made it a lot more entertaining because if you guys didn't exist, it would have been a chore.
Really? Was it now? Couldn't have been that bad.
Well, everybody else was spaced out. You know, you had battle here and there, but definitely you and Dean kind of were more of the show. If you were to go watch this again, guys got plenty of TV time. Uh, but before we let you go, though, anyone you want to thank? Because I see your sponsors are ginormous on the hood, and they got a lot of TV time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, I just want to say I'm proud to be here. This is my first league win in almost 5 months. It's just been a rough patch on iRacing, just sucky. I went like a whole season, I think, with the Next Gen Cup, I think called SRL, the league is, and I didn't win a single race. I threw away like 6 of them, so we got one finally. But I'd like to goodness, I'd like to thank Spino Racing, just, everybody there, Sam Brochu, Bear Polemish, you remember them from Coast to Coast Cup Series, of course, Jono and Lynch, Hayes Booth, my buddy Alex Schumacher, he was racing tonight too, he's not a part of the team anymore. Spino Designs and Graphics, go check him out if you want some paints done. Also, go check out Snowman Studios. Both are on Instagram. And for all you Kyle Larson fans out there, go check out Larson Land on Instagram for anything Kyle Larson related. They got a YouTube channel, podcast, and they follow everything he does motorsport wise. And yeah, it's just great to be here again. Can finally say I won a race after ages, almost half a year.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, definitely glad to see you up here. I know we race in part-time schedule. Will we see you? More coming races. We got Richmond next week, Charlotte, and then the playoffs will start for everybody else.
Richmond is one of my favorite tracks, so you might see me there and maybe at Charlotte, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. You definitely do put on a good show. You, Dean, and Brian. So entertaining. Thank you for your time and have a good rest of your night.
Yeah, Matt, thank you. Thank you, viewers. Appreciate it.
Also, Spawner Racing did give you an attaboy there in the comments.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Alright, that was Riley we talked to. Dean just tagged me and said, am I worried? Because probably about the Dr. Squash Best Sponsor plug. Well, I'm gonna have to look at that real quick. 10:59, got a little time to spare. But overall, thankfully, Riley and Dean put on one heck of a show. Battle did come there at the end due to the pit strategy, but gotta do what you gotta do to win the race. They don't race because of the viewers, they race because it's fun. Overall, I wasn't struggling for as much content as I thought I would, but thankfully there was plenty of that up front. There probably was some more of that in the field that I did miss as well. Did try to catch some of that when I would see the numbers being very close to each other. We'll see you guys at Richmond next week, and it will be the third EFRL Classic. And then after that, will be Charlotte, another EFRL Classic, and the last EFRL Classic will be in the middle of the playoffs at Watkins Glen. Charlotte will be fun because it's not the Roval for one. Richmond going to be doing some short track racing next week. And for those that don't know what an EFRL Classic is, it's essentially a mini series with series that you can get paid and all that good stuff. So even though Brian's been very good this season, I don't remember Daytona was up front. Actually, Daytona was Brian. Auto Club might have been Dean. So those two guys would still be duking it out for Richmond next week. It'll be difficult, especially if we have a big field, but we'll see you next week. Same time.